We can, especially myself, be often our own worst critics when it comes to our art.
Things don't have to be perfect to be beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're imperfect beings and we are dim reflections of God.
So I'm just trying to push myself to like just get out there and like share it or create it, publish it, do something with it.
Yeah, it's not easy to put yourself out there, but as an artist, you have to.
Back in the studio with my friend Dave Wright, also known as Magic Dave.
Hi, gang.
He's back, better than ever.
I've been here the whole time.
We talked about this last episode, but I'll throw it in there again, is that Magic Dave recently finished and published a new book. And you should check it out.
Gaming the Gospel. It's on Amazon. It's on Kindle.
It's everywhere you want to be.
Mostly. Yeah, please check it out on Amazon, gamingthegospel.com. You can find out more.
Yes, awesome. So today we're talking about all of the, well, maybe not all of them, but some of the common excuses we make up as artists to talk ourselves out of creating. And so this is the old like proverbial, if not now, when kind of scenario.
Oh, man. Yeah.
So I've identified like 3 that were, I think, the most common in my life that I've used. I don't know if you have others that you use, but stuff like,
many.
We can start with like, it's not the right time. Like I've used that before a lot. Like, it's not the right time to kind of do this, get into this. And I get that like there's seasons in our lives, right? So there's just some times where we're just super busy and can't commit to creating, or maybe you're just not in like a full scale, like schedule of creating, maybe just like here and there kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I am a very passion driven person, and I find my passions change week to week.
Okay.
And a lot of times I spend time praying through just like, all right, God, what are you pushing me towards? What are you showing me right now? And sometimes that is not right now, just like, sometimes it is thinking, man, I probably need to love my family right now.
Yeah.
Probably need to get the hardwood flooring in so no one dies on our terrible laminate flooring anymore. What about you? What's been some?
Yeah. I mean, I have 3 kids, so my life gets pretty crazy. So I think about it from that angle of just like the amount of time something would take. And then I would use that excuse of like, yeah, it's just not the right time to worry about this.
Yeah. But when is?
That's the thing though. Yeah. It's like, is there a right time for creating? I understand, like I said, that, it's about where you are in life, what's going on. But like, is there a point where we're like, okay, now is the right time? Or is it one of those traps we get into? We're just going to keep saying the same old thing over and over again, talking ourselves out of it, waiting for some magic moment.
I think I just fall into it.
Yeah.
Just like I try to do other things to inspire me. I love to walk, and I find walking and driving both kind of get the creative juices going.
I can see that. Yeah.
And then as soon as I stop the car and get out, then it fades. So I just need to find a way to work in my car, and I'll probably be far more productive.
Yeah. So it's like giving your mind space to wander kind of thing.
Yeah. I guess a very mobile mindset, I guess. Yeah.
So that's kind of one way I think maybe we could help with that mindset of like giving ourselves space to like brainstorm and plan and think through.
Yeah.
Because maybe right now isn't the right time. That might be true for some people, but.
Well, in the course of writing Gaming the Gospel, which took years for me to get done, and I beat myself up pretty good on that. But I did get to a place of like, man, when I'm thinking about writing a book and I'm processing things in my head, I'm doing the thing right now. Just like, because for writing, there's a lot of processing that has to happen to get your thoughts out. So I tried to not beat myself up too much on that. Just like, I'm taking some steps. I may not be cranking out a chapter right now, but I'm thinking about it and processing, talking to other people about it. Yeah.
Okay. So even if you're not technically doing art per se, if you're somehow involved in thinking on it, planning or something, it's still working on the thing.
Yeah. It's not nothing, but it's not the thing. So.
Not the thing. How about this one? I don't know if this has been a thing for you, but it's not perfect. So maybe like a scenario where you're in the middle of it, but then you get really discouraged and you're like, this isn't turning out the way I wanted it to. This doesn't look good. So scrap it all.
Yes. A lot of that was drawing. I found that particular with drawing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The film stuff I pushed through It just has to be done.
Yeah.
I mean, I think of the George Lucas quote, a film is never completed, it's only abandoned, which we painfully see in episodes 1, 2, and 3. But
yeah, I mean, we can, especially myself, be often our own worst critics when it comes to our art.
yeah.
So, do you have any like ideas or takeaways on like how to get past that this isn't perfect mindset when it comes to like making art?
The thing that I keep coming back to, as you're talking about things not being perfect, artist Syd Barrett, lead singer of Pink Floyd.
Oh, okay.
Wish You Were Here.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy Diamond, lost his mind, went crazy. He had some solo albums, Madcap albums that are really imperfect, almost by choice. And then you could also kind of think of jazz, of how jazz kind of improvs, and like it's not entirely perfect either, but it's still beautiful. And even with some of Syd's stuff, which is majority of that psychedelic stuff, but like it opened up my mind to thinking it's like things don't have to be perfect to be beautiful.
Yeah,
because we're imperfect beings and we are dim reflections of God, and so that reflection is not perfect. It's not perfected yet.
Yeah. For me, I think it's just been the mindset of like hitting publish on things. Like it's okay if it's not like perfect. I've kind of like wondered it in the past if like I guess it's a sign of growth really, but like if like say famous filmmakers, they go back and watch their old movies, if they're like, oh gosh, like why did I do that? Like, oh yeah, and they spot all like I forgot to do this, or like, oh man, that was like,
oh yeah, that was George Lucas, man.
Yeah. So it was like, even like the greats are gonna like notice flaws they didn't at the time. So I'm just trying to push myself to like just get out there and like share it or create it, publish it, do something with it.
Yeah, even and I'm proud of you for doing that. That's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy to put yourself out there, but as an artist, you have to. Yeah. Otherwise, you don't do anything.
The third one, I've struggled with this a lot in the past, and we talked about this in the previous episodes. So if you missed that, check that out. But mindset of, but it doesn't matter. Like what I'm making doesn't matter anyway, and talking themselves out of finishing or sharing.
Yeah, embarrassment of peers, embarrassment of it can be a blessing and a curse to have a lot of creative friends. And like, here's my thing. Oh, it pales in comparison to yours, but no one else is saying that other than you. Yeah. Yeah. How have you shifted your mind on that to push through?
Yeah. We talked about this in the previous episode, but I think for me, it's trying to reframe my mind around art itself and seeing it as a sacred calling.
Yeah.
Like we're made by God in his image. He's a creative God, so we're made to create. So it doesn't really matter what it is, but it's whatever it is, it matters. Yeah. It doesn't matter what it is, but whatever it is, it matters. Yep. I put that on a shirt.
There you go.
But it matters for that reason of being a representative of God and creating like him. Yeah. That gives, to me anyway, that gives like an immense like weightiness to any kind of art. Even like a simple painting of like a flower, like that still matters and has weight to it.
Yeah.
Even if the person was just like in the zone doing their thing, like,
or doing finger art.
Yeah. Or like something, like, yeah, like it matters because we're being image bearers when we do that kind of stuff.
That's dark brown heavy.
So those are kind of like the three main ones I've identified and experienced myself. Are there any others that like come to mind or that you've experienced holding you back?
I don't have the right tools.
Okay.
Don't have the right space. Well, I will circle back to the time thing. Like, how do you, with 3 kids, how do you find time to be creative?
This is just me, but I have to like schedule it. Yeah. I'm kind of that kind of person anyway. Maybe it comes from like running a business that I have to be on top of things and schedule time and all that kind of stuff. But for me, like with the writing, like the book I'm working on, I generally try to plan anyway, at least every weekday, like 10 minutes. So I have dedicated time. I should probably put that on my calendar, but I don't. I just kind of in my head of knowing.
And at what time do you do this?
It's during the morning, I think.
Okay. Before kids or after kids go to school?
After kids go to school, yeah. I'm also kind of the most, I found, active and like mentally alert in like about like the 9 to noon windows, usually like my best time of day. So try to squeeze it in there somewhere. But yeah, so like I sit down, I set a timer for 10 minutes and then I just write.
Yeah.
And then when the timer's up, I either stop if I feel like, I think that's all I really have for today. Or a lot of times by that point, I'm in like the zone and I'm like, no, I need to do more. So like I reset it and do like another 10 minutes, which turns into another 10 minutes. And then, I've written like a couple pages or something by that point.
Nice.
So it's kind of like part mind hack kind of thing to kind of like trick your brain into like thinking of this really small task.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can do that. 10 minutes, no problem.
Yeah.
And then when you just like do it, then like the creative juices are flowing. So that when you hit that time limit, you're like, no, I got more in me. I can just keep going.
Flow state.
Flow state. That's right.
And that happened with the hardwood flooring last night. I was sitting at a good 50% done, and now then it zoomed into around 90% as far as like this section up here.
Yeah.
So you just got to get moving.
Yeah. Thanks so much for listening to the Hero's Journey podcast. I think this is kind of a touchy subject. I know often as artists, we can create all kinds of excuses to put our art on the back burner and reprioritize other things. I know I'm guilty of that quite a bit. But I think the key is to just face those excuses head on and maybe come up with some new ways of dealing with them, like creating a schedule for creating or a brainstorming session, or even just accountability with some creative friends. If you want to check out Dave's new book, Gaming in the Gospel, the link for that will be in the description. Highly recommend it. Fantastic book. And if you want to hang out with me on Substack, which is where I'm hanging out a lot these days, you can check out my newsletter, The Hero's Journey. That's the newsletter companion to this podcast. Links to that are also in the description as well. This episode was recorded by Nebethos and produced by Staley Media.